Okay.
We're on. Let me double check.
Yeah.
Give me 30 seconds. Give us 30 seconds.
It's up. It's up. It's up. It's up.
Brian's here. Can we get the
Yeah, I'm gonna get it from him.
let's do that before we start?
Yeah. Yeah.
The mic is coming from here and not from us.
Cool. How about that?
So who's the microphone?
For the
Thanks, man.
bro.
Island,
It should be this one.
I did not try it.
I don't think this is it.
Oh, it's not?
It's not this?
That microphone is this microphone.
Yeah. So it should be this though.
Are you all good?
The sound's wonky again.
The sound isn't coming from this.
Yeah, I did that.
I don't think Phoenix has got anything special.
Wait. It.
Oh, which of these devices do you want to troubleshoot? Yeah, the M audio.
I think we can connect.
Is that it? 30-second delay.
There's a
Well, we already did the other one. It was already set to that. No, you know, we have to go back to here. This song, don't hear that. Yeah, that's not it.
One more time. Tuesday Night Cafe. How are you doing? Can we hear for DJ Wax Styles on the ones and the twos? Alright, so before we get anything started, I do want to say real quick. So, we have my man DJ Juan over there in the corner, and DJ Juan is going to be slanging coffee. So if you need to get up and get a coffee at any time, please get up and get a coffee at any time. But with that, who here is a first timer at Tuesday Night Cafe? First timers at Tuesday Night Cafe. Alright. Welcome, welcome. Who here is like your fifth time, like fifth and up time? Alright, fifth and up, welcome, welcome. How about like 10 years? 10 years at Tuesday Night. How about like 21 years? Alright, so thank you so much. Thank you all for rocking with us. Tuesday Cafe is a 21-year-old Asian American art series. We have shows every first and third Tuesday of the month from April through October. We are completely free. We are completely open to the public. We are so happy to have all of you here. The show is completely free and completely on the backs of volunteers and donations that ensure that we can continue doing this thing. Can we give it up for free? So today's show, it is the third to last show of the season, which means that it is, all right, now let's do that. Let's do a little bit, let's do a little awe. Very nice, thank you. That was really good. So with that, it is the third to last show of the season. That means that it is our 12th show. 12th show? It's our 12th show. I tell this joke every time, but I'm not a math one. So it's our 12th show of the season, and we are so grateful to have had such an amazing season. With that, and as we come out of the summer, we are coming into this wonderful season known as fall, or as autumn. It's actually my favorite season. I'm very happy I'm wearing a jacket right now, just like leaves and spooky things. So with that, we are today taking a moment to think about that transition from summer into autumn, to think about new things, to think about old things, to think about what it means to regroup after an eventful summer. So today, we're going to be starting things off on a reflective note. So, we here at Tuesday Night Cafe, we've experienced a lot of losses this year. We've experienced a lot of losses this year. For some of you who have been here earlier in the season, you may have heard about some of those losses. And so for some of you who are new to this space, this is your first time here, you may not know who I am, you probably don't know what we're all about, you probably can't catch the vibe just yet. But what we are is we are a space that is built by community, we are a space that's built by the community organizations. When we talk about community, we are talking about Little Tokyo, we are talking about this area here. Some people know it as the place where you eat, some people know it as the place where you get coffee after dinner. For us, we know it as a living, breathing community that has been here for over 100 years. We're to be here 130 something, 35 because of Fukushima. Quick with the facts. And as part of that, we are a space that is built off of the backs of a number of organizations. And organizations exist because of people, and people who want things to happen in the world and want to make change. Who here wants to see change in the world? Who here feels like we are in a better place than we may have been in the past? That change happens not just by sitting back. I think a lot of people think that the world's just going to happen, they're just waiting for the world to change. But change happens because people push for that change, because they have a vision. And they grab a friend and we say, hey, let's make this organization, or hey, I want to get involved with this work that's happening over here. And so about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, we lost somebody who makes a lot of that change in Little Tokyo. And that person is somebody whose work has touched the lives of folks across Los Angeles, not even within just Little Tokyo. And for those of you who are sitting here, you may again not know about these organizations, you may not know about the people who run those organizations, but as Tracy says, and we'll say I think coming up, the spaces that we have here exist because of those people, so by you being here, you know those people. So this person, his name is Dean Matsubayashi. Dean was the director of Little Tokyo Service Center, the organization that allows us to be here. They're the ones who have this land, who have this space for us, and who open the doors for us. And so what we want to do is, today we wanted to start off the show by thanking Dean and by having a couple of moments of remembrance and reflection. So again, for some of you, this may be something that may feel foreign. It may feel a little bit odd to be hearing about the life of somebody you don't know. It may feel uncomfortable to see people mourning somebody you're not familiar with. What I hope you'll do is I hope that you'll open yourself to this. I hope you'll take it as a learning, and I hope that you'll listen. Spaces like this don't just exist because we think that they're cool. They exist because people believe in them, and they exist because people want them to happen. So with that, I'm going to bring up Tracy Kiriyama, the founding director of this, and Evelyn Yoshimura. from Little Tokyo Service Center, and Mike Morase from Little Tokyo Service Center to say a few words.
Good evening. Dean Matsubayashi, father, husband, son, brother, friend, leader, baller, slobster, and changemaker. Dean was our leader at the Little Tokyo Service Center. After a lengthy battle with brain cancer, he passed away on September 4th at the age of 49. Dean spent his life creating opportunities for all people to live in safe, affordable homes in thriving neighborhoods, supported by services that people needed. He was loved for his generosity, affable spirit, and undeniable passion for community. He built coalitions, partnerships across ethnic and geographic boundaries, and achieved national recognition as a leader. That was an excerpt from LTSC's formal statement. I wanted to share with you a couple of remembrances. Most of you are probably too young to remember this, but in 2008, there was an economic recession or economic crisis that took place, and it impacted the whole country, and the nonprofit sector as a whole was very hard hit. In LTSC, we went into a very difficult period, and as we do at LTSC, all of us pulled together, but it was Dean and his leadership, his vision, and his hard work that pulled us out of the crisis so that, and I guess it's not an exaggeration to say that for us, it was an existential crisis. I mean, if Dean did not pull us out of that crisis, LTSC would probably not exist. It was that serious. We took pay cuts and we did a lot of other things, but it was Dean who brought us back together. And the other thing that I wanted to relate to you about the impact that Dean had is that I work on a project called Budokan, which is a big gym in Little Tokyo that we're building. And we started that project probably before all of you were born, in 1994. And for many, many, many years, we struggled finding a suitable site and raising the money to build this facility for the community. But again, it is not an exaggeration. This is the absolute truth that if Dean did not step up and do all the things that he did, there would be no Budokan, and that's the saddest thing for me to think about, that Dean did not live to see the Budokan open, because we'll be opening after all these years in March of next year. And so we're going to be remembering him not only tonight, but all the years, all the months leading up to the opening of Budokan and when we have the grand opening. So I want to close with another portion of the formal statement. Dean was a leader and a visionary, but most importantly, Dean was a friend. He made everyone feel welcomed, made everyone feel special, and made everyone laugh. He was steadfast in his convictions that we stand up against injustice for all who are marginalized in our society.
I'm gonna read this because I don't think I can get through emotionally if I don't read it. So, as Mike mentioned, Dean was ill. He was diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor about a year and a half ago. And through his illness, many of us, including us, and there's people in the audience that I saw recently too, that we started this meal train where we would take food to his family. And so that meant to take food to Dean and Kim, but also to Emma and Say, his 2 children, who are 7 and 11. And this meal train grew to, just as a testament to how broad Dean's reach was, this meal train grew into a huge thing. There's like over 100 people that were involved in it, and people would bring food every day, some to our office and some directly to their house. We got to speak with him when he felt up to it, and each time, and so I really looked forward to these times. And of course, always the jokester, he would tell jokes. The last time that Yasko and I visited Dean was the weekend before he passed. He was in the hospital by then. We walked into the lobby and there were a lot of familiar faces, and his dad took us up to see him. We heard from others that had seen him earlier that he was really upset and angry with Trump, and who is not now, but anyway, he was very angry with him and his policies, and he said so over and over again. So I kind of look forward to, having one of those angry conversations with him. And actually, when we went there, he was hooked up to a machine that was helping him breathe. So, the end was coming. We went to his room and we sat around for a while, and his dad talked about what fighting spirit he had. He made eye contact though, and he flashed thumbs up. I'll never forget that. He did that twice. We sat with him for a little bit longer and listened to his dad, especially talk about his fighting spirit and how it really helped him in basketball earlier, and now it's going to help him to fight this disease. And we didn't know then, we left. We didn't know then, but that would have been our goodbye to him. LTSC was really lucky, as Mike mentioned earlier. And I was lucky to work at LTSC, working with him on the Budokan, except in those days we called it the Rec Center, right, Carrie? Yeah. It took a long time. Tracy was a 19-year-old when the idea first came about. You should have her tell you that story too. Dean also helped us, led the service center in the push for self-determination in Little Tokyo, and developing, somebody said Little Tokyo is our town, and to keep it that way. And also, importantly, he did a lot to create art and art practices and places where people could practice art on this block here. I could go on and on about the things that Dean did, but I wanted to say a few words about him. He was really funny, like really funny. He was a creative thinker, and he was not always right, but he was right a lot of the time. But he was open to other people's points of view, always, always. So we'll miss him, and I want all of us here and everybody who ever hears about him to think creatively as much as you can, and in doing so, you're honoring him. So rest in peace, brother.
Mike. Thank you, Evelyn. I didn't write my shit down like you did. So together. I want to start with like a little bit of a funny anecdote. This was told to me by Noelle Ito, and it was told to her by someone else. We got together, I guess, a day after we all found out over at Far Bar, and we're just telling all these stories. And she talked about how Dean's wife Kim would do the laundry and then like find all these holes at like towards the bottom of Dean's t-shirts. And finally it was just like, Dean, what the F are these holes in your t-shirts? And he's like, opening beer bottles. That gives you a little picture, right? Like, because they mentioned Slobster as one of his titles. And he didn't give a shit, you know what I mean? Like, he was a president CEO of a very important organization in this city. But I love people like Dean who focus on what really matters and, you know, less on his clothing. But I did see him in suits on occasions. He brought me into a really important conversation years ago kind of on a national scale about arts and culture in relation to community development. And he was just like, you just need to just trust me and just show up. You need to be there. I need you to be there. And it led to like me being in a lot of different cities for these symposia with all these community development people who wanted to talk about art and artists. And we were also within this conversation talking about race and equity and inclusion. And I would see Dean in the rare moments in a suit. He would stand up in these dinners the night before the big symposium. And so it would have like all the leaders of all these different organizations from every single state in the country. And when he would talk, like the room would just go silent. And he was so genuine and real, and he meant everything that came out of his mouth. And he was about action too. So people listened because they also knew that if Dean was talking about this stuff, that he was implementing it and or working on this stuff back at home. And so I think it gave people a sense of like inspiration, but also responsibility. And he affected people on this whole scale. And I feel so lucky to have witnessed that. And I think like countless people, I mean, we can't even imagine how many people I think that have the same relationship with him where he was just a fun hang. You know, we would be like shooting the shit, talking about really serious stuff, but laughing the next minute, you know, talking a bunch of shit. And I have to shout out Jason Noah, one of his best friends who's here tonight, who's just a longtime community person and knows this space from way back when. And I think it's just, you know, we're of course devastated, and at the same time, like I feel like we could hear Dean saying right now, like, don't make it too sad. Like, don't keep it too sappy, okay? So I make the case that if you love Little Tokyo, like raise your hand. If you love Little Tokyo, you love being here, it's cool, it's great, you've been here before. If you love Little Tokyo, you love Dean, you know? If you love affordable housing for communities and collaboration between not only this community, like that's the thing, I have to say this too, LTSC does not take credit and really talk about how they're not just a Little Tokyo organization, but they have worked with so many communities of color, you know, in Thai Town, historic Filipino town, K-Town, Orange County, the South Bay, South Central, East LA. Like the partnerships went deep, and Dean was a huge part of that. And so I feel like if you love Los Angeles, you love Dean. So I'm gonna just ask us first, this is a lot, right? Whew! Yeah, so let's just take one huge deep breath in together. Snotty and all, and let it out. And then I'm gonna ask you to join me on the count of 3, like as loud as you can. We're just gonna say, thank you, Dean, all right? We're gonna just give thanks. You with me? Yeah. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Dean! Thank you so much, everybody. Let's bring up Shamir. Can we give this guy a hand? Holding it down. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you, Mike.
All right. So I'm going to continue the breathing because I need a breath. So can everybody, what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 breaths, and on the last one we're just going to yell. Okay? We do this, some of you, we've done this before because shit's heavy. So what I want everyone to do is while we're doing this, I want you to think about somebody who's not here in this space. It can be somebody who has passed away. It can be somebody who is still present and somebody you're thinking about. I want you just to bring somebody into the space with you, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to bring them in with 1 breath in and out. And this person is right next to you. And one more time, we're going to breathe in. And we're going to breathe out. And your feet are firmly on the ground. And you are thinking about this person. And what we're going to do is that this next one, you and this person are going to take a breath in. And on the release out, I want you just to yell. I want you, with this person who's next to you now, just to yell. All right? So 1, 2, 3, breath in. And out with a yell. All right, Tuesday Cafe, how are you feeling? We are here in Little Tokyo. We are here to continue the work that has happened for decades and decades, for generations and generations. We are doing this work off of the back of elders, off of ancestors, off of folks who are still alive, who are still pushing us forward with their energy. The energy we have in this space, you just brought someone else into it. The energy we have in this space is not just all of us. It is everyone who has come before us. So thank you so much for being here this evening. And if you're ready to keep going, can I hear you say, yeah? Yeah! Can I hear it one more time? Can I hear you say, yep? Yeah! If you're over there in the corner, feel free to come in a little bit more. I know that the gate is really, really tempting, but feel free to move in if you want to. But with that, we are thinking about autumn, we are thinking about summer, we are thinking about those who are no longer with us, we are thinking about transitions, and we are thinking about ourselves. And one person who has performed almost every season, not everybody performs every season, but this person has performed almost every season, and she's been in Oregon for the past year. 2 of them have been in Oregon for the past year. But 1 of them has been here in Little Tokyo for the past year. So this next performer is somebody, this next 3, there are 3 people I'm gonna bring up to the stage real quick. And as you can see, there is a screen happening behind me. So you can probably guess what's gonna be happening. But DJ Wax House, can we cut sound real quick? Thank you, sir. Can we get it for DJ Wax House? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a quick phone call. Can we all make a quick phone call? Is that all right with everyone?
Hello.
Hey, Priscilla. Can everyone here say hi to Priska?
Hi, everybody.
So, Priska, where are you right now?
I'm in Ashland, Oregon.
What are you doing in Ashland, Oregon?
I'm hanging out with my husband.
Woo!
Tim, he's in an awesome play called Cambodian Rock Band. Yes! But I miss you guys a lot. I felt like a crazy wave of homesickness just seeing the opening tonight. So you guys are in our hearts for sure.
So you're watching the live stream.
Yeah.
But we would like to have you here.
Oh.
We can't have you physically here. So, what is this screen behind you with the projector? Well, that's super random. I can't believe that. What?
Sean, I think I'm gonna jump into this little whatever. I'm gonna disapparate really quick, and I'll be there in a second.
Okay. We'll talk to you in a little second. All right. Thank you, Priska. Bye. All right. See you in a bit.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll see you.
All right. I'll see you in a bit. All right. Bye.
Bye.
So, what we used to do at Tuesday Night Cafe is we used to have this thing called TNTV. I think I'm getting it wrong. TNTV, where one of us would go to another place and then we would live stream in. We haven't done that for a very, very long time. But today, for the first time in at least 5 years, if not 6 years, you're gonna get to see it. And not only are you gonna get to see one person beam in, you're gonna get to see 2 people beam in, and you're gonna get to see a 3rd person right here. Interactivity. Y'all into interactivity. Some of you are looking real skeptical because you don't know what I'm talking about, but trust me, just follow me, just walk with that. So with that, we are about to get started with the show. So we are here, we are a supportive community. We are a community that likes being loud and giving affirmation. So what I'm going to ask you real quick to do is if you hear something that you like, I just want you to make a whooping sound. Can I hear you go, woo? One more time, can I hear you go, woo? All right, can I hear you go, One more time, And then let's say you don't want to like do that. Can we just like snap? Can we just snap it? I'm going to invite you to at any point feel free to do any of those things, as long as you're not being like super disruptive. But I'm going to invite you to affirm the artists. These artists are right here. They can all see you. I can see like all your faces. So the artists can see all your faces. But with that, what we're about to have is we are about to have Priska beaming in from Oregon. There is a 15-second delay. So we're not going to be doing the interactivity thing. You know how like stars, when you look at them, they've like, what you're looking at is actually them from like a billion years ago? Imagine that, but it's a singer-songwriter. So, with that, are y'all ready to move on to Priscilla, Abe, and Paul? Y'all ready for the second act? Can you say yep? Yeah. Can I hear it in the back? Y'all ready? Can I hear you say yep? Yeah. All right, so with that, I'm so excited to bring these folks up. Priska is a singer-songwriter who is based in Los Angeles but is currently in Oregon. Aber Beats is a drummer who has been in so many projects, including Run River North, which Run you may be familiar with. And with us today in person, who you'll meet a little bit later, is the one, the only Paul Date, the incredible multi-instrumentalist, vocalist, artist across multiple media. But with that, please give it up. And please give it up for 1 second because we're doing tech things. Are we vamping? We're vamping. We're going to keep vamping because we're figuring out the tech. So here's the thing. What's happening? Priska and Abe in Oregon, they spent 4 hours trying to figure out the tech. So what you're seeing is very, like, it's the future. We're doing the future, but today. So what they're going to be doing is they're going to be live streaming in. They're going to be performing a few songs. We have this amazing projector because, ooh, there's a live chat. We can chat them. So we have... Matthew Chang is on there. So we have this amazing projector because we have donations. A lot of folks donated to ensure that we have updated like equipment. Can't see anything. I'm gonna go like this real quick. We have these amazing speakers because folks donated. We have this amazing screen because folks donated. And so really the space that we have right now is a community space. It is your space. We have it because of all of you. We have it because of the support of our community. And we have it because of folks like this who are willing to put their time in to ensure that we can do wild stuff when I have an idea. So with that, I think that they went away for a second. Are we feeling good? Yeah! Sophie, how we doing? No? We're good? I'm gonna stay up here until we hear sound, just to make sure.
All right.
Good? Tech, tech. Tech 2, 3. Mic tech. What's in the phone like that?
No, we can't hear you yet.
Sean Pose.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Hey! All right, give it up for Priska, Paul, and Aber Beats.
Check, check. How's it going? Can you guys hear me okay? Oh, sorry it took me so long, but getting down there from Ashland took a long time. I just want to thank Sean Mira. I don't know which side he's on. I want to thank Sean Mira for asking us to do this, asking me to do it. Yeah, like I was saying, just watching that stream, I feel like an incredible wave of homesickness. One of the craziest things about being here in Ashland is we're really, really remote. And so I have a lot of time to myself. And you know, in LA, I was driving in traffic, I was meeting up with friends, I was going to gigs, I was going to work. And even though I had some difficult things that happened in my life, I didn't have a ton of time to process it. And up here they say that there are Ashland fairies, and I kind of believe that. You kind of feel like the spirits in the air. And I've definitely felt visited by family members,
the ghosts of family members passed. And this is a song that I wrote for them. This is called Chasm. And who the hell am I to tell you with a sigh that it'll be alright? It came without a sound and suddenly surrounds every fiber of my being. Only a chasm next to me. Can I catch you by the teeth and pull you in for keeps? Hide you from the gods? Can I find you in the clouds? Or are you in the shroud? Covered head to feet. Only a chasm next to me. I wake to colors blue, an ache that won't conclude. All happiness was you. I learned to laugh again, but now it feels a sin. My smile's laden with lead. Only a chasm next to me. Only a chasm next to me. Thank you guys. I'm 15 seconds in the future here, so I'm gonna, just be moving along. I can't really hear what's going on out there, so if you're booing and hissing, not my problem. I promised Sean I'd only make like 2 Tupac references, so I think that this is my second one now. But yeah, I'm so excited to be here. I'm going to be singing another song. A couple weeks ago I had a gig in LA and my mom was upset at not being able to see me, so in frustration was like, okay, well I'm just going to come and see this gig. And I was like, oh my god, this is huge, mom never comes to these. And she was sitting next to my friend, a lot of you guys know her, Amy Lou, and Amy Lou was just talking to my mom aren't you proud of your daughter? Aren't you just so happy with what she's doing? And my mom's like, she used to sing to herself for 6 hours at a time, this is nothing. Anyway, parents. This is another song, this is called Sunbeams. Thanks for hanging out in our living room. It's so crazy to have you guys all in here. Shoes off, yeah, thank you. All secrets to my grave. And I will be the one to take your place. Until they cannot see you, and run, so no one knows your name. And I will hold your secrets to my grave, and I will be the one to take your place. Thank you guys. Ever have a summer crush? Hands up, in the back, in the front. I see you. Same. I was terrible with summer crushes because, you know, September 1st comes, the weather changes, and you're like, oh, I'm not into that anymore. So anyway, I want to introduce up to the stage a really good friend of mine. You might see him in the crowd right now, Mr. Paul Dante!
Hello. Hi. You can't hear me, but hi. I can see you though. This is weird.
Also, I just want to shout out over here, my lovely husband Abraham is sound for us over here. Say what's up! So together, Paul, Abe, and I, about a year ago, we went out to the desert. So we went out to Joshua Tree. And what happened was we wrote a couple songs. We did a writer's retreat, and this is one of the songs, right, Paul?
Yes.
And so this is about summer love and how it becomes extinguished once September 1st kind of rolls around, like Labor Day and go away. You know what I mean? But just kidding. We love all the people that we left behind. So this is a song called Summer. Actually, it's called You Are Mine, parentheses, for the summer. You can download it currently. You can add it to your Spotify playlist. And I think that's what I have to say about it. I'm going to get a sip of water. Paul, talk to them for a sec.
Okay. How's it going, everybody? My name is Paul. This is Priscilla and Abe over there. They're in Ashland, Oregon, and we're here in beautiful Los Angeles, little Tokyo.
Way to go, Paul.
And is she back? Are you back? Are you back? Are you back?
Tell a joke.
She stands. Oh, she doesn't need to give me more time.
Okay, so what we're doing is I just added a click track to my ear. So Paul is going to be singing live with us. So we're like in the future singing with past Paul, and then once current Paul catches up, then he's going to finish it off and tell you guys everything that's happening. Paul, you ready?
Yep.
I think we're ready up here. Right. You were mine for the summer. You were meant for another. We're no good for each other, but it's fine for the summer. You were mine for the summer. You were meant for another. We're no good for each other, but it's fine for the summer.
When I saw you, you were there, feeling it too. We didn't need a
think it through. We got it bad, got it bad, got it bad.
It was only a heat wave.
Yeah, that's all it is, that's all it is.
We're stuck in a heat wave.
Oh, feeling it, feeling it, feeling it.
You were mine for the summer. You were mine for another. We're no good for each other, but it's fine for the summer. You were mine for the summer. You were meant for another. We're no good for each other, but it's fine for the summer.
So caught up in this, let's keep it sweet, don't let us sour. There's no time for fighting, only flowers in this temporary love. Cause you know that we're not meant to be together. It's not meant to be forever, forever. Yeah, we both know that we are not meant to be together.
We're stuck in a heat.
We both know that this is not meant to be forever.
You were mine for the summer. You were meant for another. We're no good for each other, but it's fine for the summer. You were mine for the summer. You were meant for another. We're no good for each other, but it's fine for the summer.
Summer, yeah, fading.
Losing our light, losing our light.
We can't keep going on. No, we can't stay here.
We gotta let it go.
Because summer's gone away.
It's gone away. You were mine for the summer. You were meant for another. We're no good for each other.
For each other.
But it's fine for the summer.
But it's fine for
You were mine for the summer. You were meant for another. We're no good for each other. But it's fine for the summer.
Give it up for Prisca, everybody! And Haber Beats!
I'm gonna let Paul take it away. Give it up for Abraham Kim.
Haber Beats! Prisca!
We love you guys and hope to see you guys soon. Okay, take it away, Paul.
Prisca, everybody. Haber Beats. Thank you so much for having us. Tuesday Night Cafe! This was a first. Was this a first for you too? It was definitely a first for me. The technology part, I mean. All right, I gotta go, guys.
All right, that was amazing. Can we have another round of applause for Prisca, Paul, and Aberbeats? All right, now's the portion of TNC where we like to open the floor up for our open mic performers. For open mics, we usually allocate 3 spots, roughly about 5 minutes per set, which is enough room for 1 song or 2 poems. We prioritize youth, elders, women, API folks, people of color, queer, trans, and gender non-conforming folks, and reserve the right to hold the spot for someone from one of those communities. We also reserve the right to cut mic for open mic performers in instances where we feel the content is inappropriate for the space or unjustly targets communities at their expenses. So for our first open mic performer, we have Alyssa Aguilos. She is a filmmaker and longtime volunteer at VC. You can see her read books and drink boba on twitch.tv/booksnboba. All right, please put your hands together again for Alyssa.
Hey there, everybody. Oh my gosh, Is it like okay to say that I've been dreaming about this for like at least 5-7 years? So this poem I wrote when I was having a sleepless night. Anybody in here have like insomnia like me? Also, yeah, happens. It's an artist thing. So yeah, it's called Eyes Open. My eyes open. Not by choice, but because of some broken clock meant to keep me from dozing off into an otherwise well-rested night. Why must I continue to fight this ever-turning treadmill of a sleep cycle? I'm not depressed. I promise. I've gotten over that. Perhaps I need to install some different lights. The kind that won't keep me up at night. My eyes open. Not by choice, but because of some broken, dysfunctional system I was born and bred into. Head first, dove into limbo. Youngest of my cousins and oldest of my siblings. A 6-year ravine separating me from each generation. No, my parents never fought in front of me, but I was taught never to cry. Hold back the dam of tears till I can open the tub faucet and drown it out so they don't need to hear if I'm depressed. I promise I'll get over that. Perhaps I just need to keep the tone light, the kind that won't keep me up at night. My eyes open. Not by choice, but because of some broken mufflers on this crowded road, spudding in the snail trail of a traffic jam. I'm doing my best to keep my allergies from acting up, but hey, that's the price we pay for living in LA. The season's change is kept at bay by the constant smog cover. Do we ever stop to wonder, should it be that shade of pink? But it passes over our heads, despite if I'm happy or if I'm depressed. I promised I'd get over that. Perhaps we should just keep the conversation light, the kind that won't keep me up at night. My eyes open. Not by choice, but because tonight I feel broken. I'm depressed. I promise I'm not over that. Will I ever be? Perhaps if I shut my eyes to all this tragedy. Light. The dawn creeps. No more time for sleeping in. I fold my sheets and begin my day. My eyes open, not by choice, but because of what is broken must be fixed. I'm depressed and I may never get over that. Perhaps if we start today, we can spark a new light. The kind that won't keep me up at night. Okay, yeah, so this last one, it's like halfway between a poem and a song, but it doesn't have an instrumentation yet, but it goes, holding my breath close to the edge of the water, dipping my toes to see how this goes into your deep, deep love, into your deep, deep love. Up to my knees, all that I see, all the depth of what this could be. I want to see into your deep, deep love, into your deep, deep love. Just dive in, just dive in, into your deep, deep love, into your deep, deep love. Just dive in, just dive in, into your deep, deep love, into your deep, deep love. Heart stopping, head shaking, can't breathe when you surround me. You calm me when I need, when fog rolls in and chokes my speech. Just dive in, just dive in, into my deep, deep love, into my deep, deep love. Thank you guys. I love you because I'm not gonna say thank you, Sean. Thank you all the volunteers. And I gotta give it up to LA, and I give it up to Dean, and I give it up to God. Thank you guys so much.
Can we give it up again for Alyssa? All right, for our second open mic performer, we have Nick Mejia, who's also going to be accompanied by Magnum. Nick is a Japanese-American left-handed friend of the space who loves dad jokes and music. This is his first time and he's low-key nervous. So please put your hands together, melt that nervousness away, and welcome Nick and Magnum to the stage.
What up? My name is Nick Mejia, and fun fact, I had to teach him how to pronounce my last name because it is Spanish. I am half Mexican, half Japanese, and my parents are actually over there recording my failure, so that's gonna be really fun. This is Magnum. Magnum's gonna help me out. I wrote some notes because I'm kind of nervous. You can see me fidgeting. Funny story about my parents and how they met. Tinder. So, now I'm gonna use my notes. Here we go. All right, so my name is Nick. I'm a friend of the space, long-time supporter, first-time performer. I have one dad joke that is Japanese-based and one dad joke that is Spanish-based. That's gonna come later though, because I want to kind of warm myself up, but also warm you guys up with me. So Sean does this breathing thing that I really, really like, right? So we're gonna do that. I want everyone to breathe in. I love when Sean does it. Let's breathe in together. And just breathe out. Let's do it one more time because I'm kind of nervous. All right, now this time, I want you to let a noise, like just a big gasp or just a sigh, but something a little bit loud, right? Oh, that felt good for me. Did you guys like that? Did that feel good for you guys? Okay, this one, so I can see if you guys know how to laugh, I want you to breathe in and then laugh when you breathe out. Okay, can we try this? It might be kind of awkward. All right, let's try this. All right, ready? Let's breathe in. How was that? You guys laugh? Kind of couldn't hear you over my own loud laugh. It's been a rough year, rough for my family as well. So I really believe in the power of laughter and like its therapeutic properties. You might be saying, Nick, how can I laugh? Sometimes I don't feel like laughing. Sometimes I don't even feel like smiling. And luckily for you guys, we're going to teach you how to laugh without smiling. And first up is going to be Magnum, who didn't know he was going to do this. But if you could laugh without smiling, that'd be great. Whenever you're ready. All right, and he did pretty good, but I'm gonna try it as well. All right, so I think we're ready for the Japanese dad joke. Here we go. What is Michael Jackson's favorite Japanese beer? Asahi! And for the follow-up, here we go. Whenever I see my Mexican friends, my relatives, my uncles, my aunts, I like to tell each and every one of them, mucho, because it means a lot to them. I gotta get into the headspace to be a performer, so I'm gonna change real quick. Get up for Magnum, please! Ooh, yeah, guys. This is my performer voice. And this next piece is kind of inappropriate. And I really like Disney movies and sexual innuendos, so it's gonna be a mix of both. I hope you guys can not hate me too much. It's called 10 Minutes. 10 minutes into Pinocchio and chill, and I became a real boy. 10 minutes into Sword in the Stone, and it's time for me to pull out. 10 minutes into Beauty and the Beast and chill, and I'm putting something there that wasn't there before. 10 minutes into Mulan and chill, and it's time to get down to business. 10 minutes into Mulan and chill, again, and she's making a man out of me. 10 minutes into Finding Nemo and chill, and I just touched the butt. Oh yeah, touch the butt. 10 minutes into Finding Nemo and chill, and she made me ink. 10 minutes into The Emperor's New Groove and chill, and I'm hitting it just right. Let's go with Lion King. 10 minutes into Lion King and chill, and I'm trying to get her Pumbaa to moan. 10 minutes into Lion King and chill, and it's slimy, yet satisfying. Last one. 10 minutes into The Lion King and chill, and she's like, so when you're gonna put it in brown. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Let's give it up for Nick and Magno. I'm not sure what that was, but that was really entertaining. So for our last open mic artist, we are going to have Iris Liu. Iris is a queer poet, actor, singer, and dancer, and a lover of the TNC community. So let's give it up for Iris.
Hi everyone. My sitting mic is my height. That's nice. So I'm going to do a song, and it's a short song, and so I'm going to talk for a little bit. And I am traditionally a poet. I've been doing spoken word poetry for a very long time, and that is where I feel very comfortable. I've done spoken word on this stage, and I love doing it, and I love this community. I grew up in the Bay Area. I grew up in San Francisco, and then I moved to Portland, Oregon when I was like 12, which I know Ashland, but for those of you that don't know, Portland is a very, very white city. Yeah, it's a city, yes. And, you know, I came of age in a very white city, and beyond that, like, I moved there during I was old enough to remember the 2008 economic depression, and it hit my family very hard. We actually moved to Oregon for real estate, so that hurt. And so for me, I get emotional because it's what I tend to do, but it was very hard for me to come of age in a place that I didn't feel like I had a place, right? Like, my family moved there without community. My parents are immigrants. We didn't know anybody in Oregon. We moved from a very loving, very Chinese Bay Area, right? And so I moved here to Los Angeles proper, about 3 years ago, and I've been coming to TNC ever since. And I had a lot more words to say about authenticity and about what it feels like to be wearing a mask your whole life, and to be in spaces that sometimes demand it. And but I think, like, you know, you can probably tell how much this space means to me, and how much I think it means to everybody who's here tonight, whether they're watching online or in the space. And I just want to say thank you, everybody, past and present and future, who makes this place alive. Oh, okay, and I'm doing a song. Huh?
So you don't have to cry. No problem.
I can't promise you. I can't. No, I'm saying I won't promise that I won't cry. Okay, thank you, sir. And I'm doing a song which I've never really done in public. Well, no, that's not true. In an open, a song I've written that I've never done in public. Okay. Okay, and there's no music to it because I wrote it 2 hours ago. Okay, so here's the authenticity and growth. Show me your love, show me your hurt, show me your stars, show me your dirt, whisper in my ear, taste it on my tongue, show me love. I wanna see your darkest moments, I wanna share in honest pain, I wanna be with you forever, I wanna be with you forever, I wanna wake up to your name, baby, show me love, baby, show me love, baby, show me love. It's you, I'll show you love. Show me your love, show me your hurt,
Show me your scars, show me the dirt. I don't wanna be all smiles with you, always holding back the truth. I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna lie, but I'd rather lie in bed with you, baby. I'll show you my love, baby. I'll show you my love, show you my stars, show you my scars. Whisper in your ear, taste it on your tongue. I'll show you love.
Please give it up for the open mic. Thank you so much, Iris. That was very, very, very emotional. With that, like the open mic again, if you want to try out for the open mic, you show up at 7 o'clock, you put your name down, you may get on, you never know what's going to happen, as you saw today. It goes all over the place. So with that, Tuesday Cafe, how are you all feeling? We are here in the second half of the show. We are a little bit behind schedule, but the rest of the show is incredible. We have 3 more artists for you, and I'm so excited to bring them up. But before we bring up any more artists, again, we are a community space. We are a space that is built on the backs of work that has happened for generations and our work that is to come. So we're really always happy to have an announcement space for community announcements. So with that, I'm going to bring up Pilar from the Census 2020, who's going to talk a little bit about some stuff that's going down in the next year. Give it up for Pilar.
Good morning, everyone. How many of you want? It's been a long day. How many of you want funds for schools? Grants. Give me real student loans. So the U.S. Census is the way that the government. Oh my God! Let me back up. So the U.S. Census happens every 10 years. The next one is on April 1st, 2020, and it's in the Constitution, and it's the way to count the population in the United States. And it's the way to get $675 billion every year to state and local governments. Every year, $675 billion. The census is also the way to get representation. So the 435 congressional seats, those are allocated based on population. So we need everybody to respond. We especially need the Asian American, Native, Hawaiian, Pacific Islander communities to respond to the census. This is how we're going to get dollars to the communities. I have, one of the things I want to highlight is that we went on print without the citizenship question. I can also answer any questions that you have. I have a booth over there. And California, needs the dollar. Our communities needs the dollar. So please respond to the census. This is the first time you can respond online, over the phone, and also in person. So please respond. Our communities need the dollars. Any questions? I'll be right there. Thank you.
Woo, short and sweet. We appreciate that. All right, so if y'all ready for the next act, can you say yeah? Yeah! So coming up to the stage is the next cat submitted to the, so we have a submission form online at TuesdayProject.org, and you can find a submit button, and when you press that button, you can put your information in, and one of us will see it, and we will add it to our list. Add you to our list of curatorial list of the artists that we booked. And so with that, this artist put his information in. I looked at it, thought it was incredible, and then immediately sent him an email to book him like 4 months ago. And then he was like, I'm sorry, I'm out of town. I went, okay, that's fine, that's cool. We'll find another one, that's cool. So then I sent him another email. And then he said, I'm sorry, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm out of town. I went, okay, it's fine, we'll keep trying. And then finally, 2 to 3 weeks ago-ish, I sent an email and was just like, you know what, we're going to be zen about this. If it works, it works. Wants a space, clearly wants to be part of this, if it works, it works. And I got a response, and he goes, let's do it. So tonight, I am so excited to bring up this next artist. The vibes from the music you're about to hear, like, ooh, Just like pure, like get, like relax yourself into your chair or like into standing. Anyway, up next we have Chai Guan, who is an alternative R&B singer-songwriter, producer, and is currently a graduate student and independent curator in Los Angeles. Prior to moving to LA, he studied at the College Conservatory of Music in Cincinnati. Can we please hear for Chai Guan?
Is it on? Yeah? Okay. Hi. Yeah, I mean, I'm not great at talking, but yeah, it's really surreal to be in this space because, I mean, I think similar to the previous artist that was up here, I'm from like a small town in rural Virginia. So yeah, it's really nice to be here. It means a lot. Yeah, I have 3 songs for you. Don't wait for me, I don't need you to worry. Don't hold your breath, cause I'm not in a hurry. There's no reason to hurry, oh. Is this the end of what I thought we could be? Is this the end of what I thought was carefree? Is this the end of what I thought was so fun? Is this the end? Is this the end? Are we done? Are we done? Are we done? Are we done? Don't get too close, so we're not good for each other. That's how life goes, another after another. Don't play with me, you're just gonna get burned. Why can't you see? We got so much to learn, there's still so much to learn, oh. Is this the end of what I thought we could be? Is this the end of what I thought was carefree? Is this the end of what I thought was so fun? Is this the end? Is this the end? Are we done? Are we done? Are we done? Are we done? Don't count on me, I'm not gonna come through. There ain't no we, cause there's nothing left to do. Everything that we could do, think we both know that it shouldn't be this hard. I have to go, tired of being on guard, cause I'm always on guard, oh. Is this the end of what I thought we could be? Is this the end of what I thought was carefree? Is this the end of what I thought was so fun? Is this the end? Is this the end? Are we done? So this next song is called Notes on Being Lost. It's also like a slow song. And it's sort of just this about like dealing with change that I think like, is so typical for like young people, but I guess everyone, right? Anyway, yeah. Feeling lost, feeling cold.
I've lost control. Wasting time, taking space. Haven't found my place. Sitting on the floor, I'm wondering if there's more. I'm water and steam, I'm tearing at the seams. Struggling to begin, stretching in my skin. Don't know who I am. Who am I today? Can't it stay the same? Tired of this race, tired of this change. Who am I today? Can't it stay the same? Tired of this race, tired, so tired. Chasing dreams, chasing lights, constantly chasing white. Sitting here all alone, searching for my home. Sitting on the floor, wondering if there's more. Hot water and steam, I'm tearing at the seams. Struggling to begin, stretching in my skin. Don't know who I am. Who am I today? Can't it stay the same? Tired of this race, tired of this change. Who am I today? Can't it stay the same? Tired of this race, tired, so tired. Searching, fighting, sinking for that natural high. Searching, fighting, sinking for those clear blue skies. Who am I today? Can't it stay the same? Tired of this race, tired of this change. Who am I today? Can't it stay the same? The same. Yeah, so this next song is sort of just like looking at the feeling you get like leaving a party or at the end of like a, I guess a fun time out, right? Also, I just finished writing it like 2 days ago, so I might forget. So we'll see how it goes. Is it time for you to go home? The party's over, feeling the afterglow. Lights on, everybody's coming down. Falling strong, when we hit won't make a sound. Won't make a sound. I'm falling so fast. When the good comes to a close, sometimes it feels just like time slows. Sometimes that's just how life goes. So fast. I thought that it was meant to be. There's still so much that I can't see. The fire's dying, time to leave.
music slows, telling us that's the end. Last call, get it all out. Hit a wall, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. I'm falling so fast. When the good comes to a close, sometimes it feels just like time slows. Sometimes that's just how life goes. So fast. I thought that it was meant to be. There's still so much that I can't see. The fire's dying, time to leave. I can walk steady, my feet feel so sore. I'll feel this tomorrow, but I'll still want more. The party is ending, it feels bittersweet. Can't wait till next weekend, then I press repeat. Ears are so ringing, I'm dripping in sweat, but it feels so damn good that I can't leave just yet. Night's winding down, are we ready to go? Guess that everyone's leaving, it's time to go home. I'm falling so fast. When the good comes to a close, sometimes it feels just like time slows. Sometimes it's just how life goes. So fast. I thought that it was meant to be. There's still so much that I can't see. The fire's dying, time to leave.
Please go one more time with Chaigwan. Man, vibes. Vibes. All right, so we are down to our final two artists of the evening, and before we move on to them, first off, how are y'all doing? You still with me? All right, so with that, if you want to move in a little bit, I think there might be some seats, maybe like a couple spots where you can sneak in. So feel free to come forward. But with that, as I mentioned earlier, we are a community space. We are a neighborhood-driven space. We are a space that is driven by folks who are actively involved in this community in Little Tokyo and believe in self-determination. And so with that, we have a community just to the north called Chinatown. Who here has been to Chinatown? All right. And in Chinatown, there's this incredible organization called the Chinatown Community for Equitable Development, and they are here to tell you a little bit about some stuff they have going on later this month. So give it up for CCED.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Tito.
Yeah, Tito!
I'm Patrick.
And yeah, we are CCED, the Chinatown Community for Equitable Development, and echoing the sentiment invoked by Dean earlier and folks who have spoken about Dean, we are here to fight for community control. And that means we are anti-gentrification, an anti-gentrification group, because we know that Los Angeles was built and is home to communities of color, and low-income communities of color at that. So we are a multi-ethnic, multi-generational, all-volunteer group, and we have two asks of you today.
So right now, CCD is engaged in several site fights in Chinatown. One of those is at 920 Everett Street. It's a building with 6 units of mostly Southeast Asian refugees and immigrants. And almost 2 months ago, they got an eviction notice from their landlord because they sold the building. So, as most of you know, the rent is too damn high, and these residents have nowhere to go. So the residents and CCD, we put together a petition calling on the new owners to stop the evictions and to let these residents keep calling Chinatown home. So we're passing around a petition now, and you know, some so-called comedians might think it's funny to insult or slur Chinatowns, but we know that Chinatowns and Little Tokyos and other working class communities of color are resilient, and we've got each other's backs.
So that's our first ask, because displacement is real and these people are literally just fighting for their lives to stay off the street. And in order to do that, in terms of supporting them, like I said, we are an all-volunteer organization and we need money. So we also have a fundraiser coming up. It's on Sunday, October 13th, and you can find out more information. We have flyers out on the table over there. But also, if you take out your phones out real quick, you can find the Eventbrite information at cced7.eventbrite.com. So check us out.
still donate to us because we do great work. And yes, like Patrick said, we have more than one side fight going on, and we're just, yeah, this is just one of the things going on. So if you want to also support and get involved, let us know. All right, thanks so much.
One more time for CCAD. So with that, we are up to our second to last artist for the evening. This artist is somebody who's been volunteering all season long. So as we mentioned a few times, this is a completely free, completely volunteer-run operation. We have a core staff, but beyond that, we have day of volunteers. Can I have all the day of volunteers? Raise your hand, just the folks who just showed up. Can we hear for them? These are folks who just show up at 5 o'clock and make sure that this all happens. So this person has showed up for the entire season, and then at a certain point in the season, got on the open mic and just unleashed words that were, I was a little speechless, just like at the intensity and also the passion behind them. So with that, I'm so excited to bring this next artist up to the stage. Can I please hear it for Yidu Sung, who is a Canadian musician, writer, composer, and singer-songwriter who has recently gone back into the spoken word scene. He has been writing poetry and making music since the age of 7 and has several works published. He has worked with several genres and mediums, included but not limited to poetry, fiction, classical music, and soundtracks. He's also an entrepreneur, photographer, visual artist, music journalist, and scientific researcher. And he's also currently attending law and business school, focusing on entertainment law. Outside of school of the arts, he's interested in psychology, philosophy, and history. He's always down to meet people and talk about anything under the sun. That's a lot of things, and you're going to get to hear some of that. I love a good pun. So, can we please hear it loudly for Yidu Sung?
I apologize, I do not have myself memorized because I literally wrote this like yesterday. 4 poems for you. I'm gonna keep it short because they are pretty long. So the first one is called Church of Misery. It's named after a band and inspired by an Instagram caption I wrote. They say misery loves company, but it is not everyone's business. It's not a commodity to be sold, but rather a resource that needs to be upheld. They say misery loves company. But in this day and age, everyone is lonely. Even though we might be more connected than ever, we choose to hear but not listen to each other. They say misery loves company, but no one's lending a hand of invitation. Everyone is screaming with their own selves, too blinded to notice the quiet pain of drowning. Nay, we have our earthly love, our humanly love that will lift the weight of emptiness. Nay, we have our nostalgia, our ember's voice that will free us from our shrines of paralysis. Join me and I'll take you on our trip to the Church of Misery, where we meet in a mournful congregation at the hour of penance in the chapel of disease. We will bear our palls as we head on our soul-side journeys. With rapturous grief and somber ecstasy, we yield to naught and none bow to spite. With our subtle body reduced to silence, we burn with compassion of extinguished light. Fighting on is to smile through the suffering, to depart the altar with an offering, to shed the confinement of isolation, pray en masse and be led from deprivation. With completion of the final sacrament, it's time to say goodbye to the covenant. Summertime is now leaving past the corner, and we have been reborn as a survivor. Next poem was written in high school. This one's called Moth in the Night. The sky above is cloudy gray. Everything is quiet and bitter. A cold dark tranquilly sets as night creeps in, swallowing and consuming all that remains. Strangled by the darkness, I am lost fluttering in an endless frozen night. The weight of my wings, heavy with the burden of snow, drags my body down. I am struggling to stay afloat. I traveled far and wide, resting on fallen branches of decaying trees. Pressing on, my wings complain with unneeded threatenedies. They scream, wanting to land as I want to sleep and drift, perish into the night, leaving nothing but a shadow that was once me. Over the bleak white forest lies a beacon of light, so small yet so bright. It is captivating. I fly a little closer to feel its warmth embrace. Warmth, oh sweet tingly warmth, what were you all along in my life? The radiance diffuses into my blood, melting all the ice in my veins and the frost pressing on my veins. And the light gets bigger and brighter, caressing me gently as winter slowly turns away a verboten. Spring comes and fills me with the boundless I never knew existed. Warm winds breathe under my wings, lifting me up to the light and keeping me alive. I follow the light over the deep mountains, enduring its snowy peaks. The wolves howl upon her celestial arrival, and the bears wake from their earthly slumber. Life is leaping into motion. The mirth of summer fills all with jubilation. The birds sing and flowers bloom without hesitation. I soar through the skies, rejoicing as if I was a butterfly. The green turns yellow, then orange and red. Wind billow my wings and I begin to falter. Black clouds gather as ominous winds rush against my wings. The tired leaves sway, they break and fall to the sound of thunder and lightning. As the autumn storm grows stronger, the light flickers, shrinking smaller and smaller, becoming weaker and weaker until she was gone. The air gets colder, winter sets in, I'm tired again. Ice crawls back into my veins as the bitterness swells in my mouth. I saw her face as my eyes slowly closed. I let go of myself. From the death, my desire burns me alive, spreading my ashes far and wide. The stars above still shine with wonder, and below, my light is happy with another. I smile as it was his butterfly. My wings can finally rest now. This poem was written in response to someone else's poem that they wrote to me. This one is called Where Am I? Where was I? I was always there when you needed me. I would rush to your side, dropping my things along the way, only to pick them up when you told me it was safe to return. Sometimes I would lose my things and I couldn't find them, but that was okay. I can worry about those later. It was for you. Where was I? My words, even if they were just text on a page, were smitten. You have plenty to read as I poured my soul into the ink of my pen tips, and with every keystroke, I painted pictures of comfort filled to the brim with lines of poetry and song until my voice and my hands were tired. It was for you. Where was I? My smile was all for you to see. My face, radiant like the sun, were always shining in your presence. My beautiful eyes sparkled as they gazed upon your reflection. Every day I pointed the camera towards me to capture a token of appreciation so that you didn't have to go a day without seeing me. It was for you. Where was I? By your side when you needed a hug so you could feel love, so you could feel my heartbeat and hear me breathing. Not to check if I was okay, but to see if you still had me in your clutches. The man behind the love, the hugs, the face, the eyes, and the words meant nothing. As you took all my things and hid them amongst your shadows where I couldn't find them. It was all about you. Where am I? I am no longer with you as you pushed me away. My replies are scarce and sparse as you no longer deserved my words. Like a candle's flickering flame, my smile, my face, and my eyes waned as you stole the light that once shone with me and ran away, leaving me behind in the dark in a pool of wax of ashen gray. It was all about you. Where am I? You said you knew the answer, but what difference does it make if you didn't care? I was blossoming and branching out into different ventures as you maintained until you kept on trimming me down like a bonsai with my own guilt and shame into your desired shape that I put on display as yours laid bare, not knowing that I can regrow my limbs and breathe my own air. It was all about you. Where am I? It is foolish of you to ask. You claim to be the one who told me to follow my dreams, saying you were the one I should be thankful for. But you failed to realize how strong I was after you tossed me into the seams. So I went home, studied, wrote, and drew my life back together, and then more. It is about me. Where am I? You admitted you were selfish, but I don't think you knew the extent. Wanting all my time when it was convenient, but that is one of your demands. You knew it wasn't fair, but you did it anyways without my consent, robbing me while I was asleep, leaving me unmanned. Not knowing that I could rise, become whole, and ignite again. It is about me. Yet you still want to ask, where am I? I'm on this stage where I want to be, where I'm meant to be, because this is for me. The last one is dedicated to a friend of mine, Maria. This is called Beetlebug. Last summer, you found me at my lowest. I was tossed aside like the toy Lotso, a teddy bear who was used, discarded, and unwanted. But you helped to stop me from becoming like him. You picked me up and took me in when I was thrown down and cast out, showing me that I was still deserving. I still remember the conversation we shared that night, when we talked about life, depression, dreams, and plights. You know, the regular things a girl and a guy would talk about when they first met. Except it didn't feel like we just met. We've been friends for a while online, and when you found out that your favorite band is playing in LA, you're ecstatic. Not only you get to see them play, but you also got to see me for the first time. You took a 20-hour bus ride from your humble home in the land of the Cowboys to go on an adventure to the big city of Angels. You revisited my favorite record store and I watched you light up with excitement. What a selection, you said as you went through every LP and CD. The only thing I could focus on was you, and I couldn't help but feel free. I got to see you for the first time, and I hoped it wasn't the last time. Like tourists, we went to the Santa Monica Pier, despite a part of me was screaming, no, don't. You comforted me when I told you. This was where my first kiss was taken by someone who you knew hurt me so. Yet you looked at me, smiled, and said that you wanted to help me make new memories with you instead. So we did. You were grateful when I offered my place for you to stay, when your hotel denied your reservation and pay. For the first time in months, my room felt lived in with your presence. Your laugh filled up the room as I had forgotten how wonderful a sound can be as I welcomed you into my West Side Story. When you came back that night, you collapsed at the foot of my steps. I held you, trying to comfort you as you pressed your face into my chest. You were screaming as your tears soaked through my shirt to my skin. You woke the neighbor up, who came outside and yelled at us to go back in. I fumbled for my keys as your nails dug into me. I held you inside and closed the door behind us gently. That night, you told me you wished you never came. You left the next day happy that we met all the same. On a cold January morning, just like any other in Toronto, I got out of bed and started studying for the LSATs pronto. Last night, I saw your Facebook status and told myself I need to check in on you. Instead, I checked into a karaoke room with friends and piled on the bottles of soju. I needed to sing my heart out, but forgot to listen to yours shout. I felt restless that morning, like something wasn't right. And that was the moment when I found out that you died. You took your own life, and you didn't say goodbye. I went numb, silent. I couldn't feel anything. I couldn't say a thing. For the first time in a long time, I felt helpless. If I only heard your call for help then, you could have still been here, priceless. I blamed myself, knowing you wouldn't want that. I listened to your new album that day, and all I could do was just cry. I'm sorry. I miss you. Sleep well, Beetlebug.
Can you please hear Viru-san? We're doing a lot of breathing tonight, but I do want us to breathe after that. I feel like we've been doing that this whole season, but I also feel like this season has called for it. So what I do want us to do after that is just take a deep breath in and breathe out. And then just with that, I do want to invite you, if you do need to take a moment to step out, please feel free to take a moment to step out. If this is something that you'd like to speak to us about, please feel free to speak to us about that. But with that, thank you so much, Yidu. Thank you for sharing. So with that, we are at the end of the evening. Before we bring up the final artist for the evening, who I'm so excited is here, I do want to make a couple more announcements from my own self real quick. On September the 21st, Saturday night, there's going to be a concert right down the street at the Japanese American Culture Community Center. That'll be raising funds to buy backpacks for a lot of children who have migrated across the border and have found themselves detained or have been imprisoned in camps around the country. And so there is an organization called Nikkei Progressives that is raising money to buy backpacks for many of these kids. I don't know if Joy is still here. Yes. And you can buy tickets from Joy over here in the baseball cap. So go talk to her.
Hat with a hat. It's a hat with a hat.
It's a what?
It's a hat on the hat. Hat.
Okay, anyway, wearing the baseball cap. So, also, if you would like to buy coffee, Juan is over here selling coffee. Check them out. They'll be around for a little bit. And then, can we hear one more time for DJ Lifestyles on the one hand? So, thank you all for rocking with us. We are here at the end of the show. And I'm so excited to have this artist here. This show, there's been a lot of new things, and this artist is going to be trying some stuff as well. So I'm so excited to be able to give her that space. At Tuesday Night Cafe, I like to give space to folks who want to try new things, who are working on new projects, who need the space to work stuff out. And so her and I were having a conversation, and she mentioned that there was something she wanted to try. And here she is. So with that, I am going to bring to the stage Alpha. Alpha loves to tell stories through songs. A songwriter since the age of 13, she's chronicled her life from suburban high school dramas to the unsettled state of the post-college years, and recently, she's been drawn to examine her upbringing and identity as a Filipino immigrant. She was born in Mindanao, raised in New York and New Jersey, and an LA resident for 8.5 years. Alpha has had the privilege of sharing her music throughout the country and will be featured in the PBS show Songs at the Center in 2020. So, as we get our last one, I know we're at the end of the evening. I know that we've been chilling. I know that there's been a lot to take in. So before we bring her up, real quick, can I hear it for the next artist? One more time, can I hear it for Alpha? One final time, can I hear it for Alpha? Please welcome to the stage, Alpha Garcia.
Hi guys! Sean, I was going to tell them the story of our conversation. You beat me to it. Okay, so I'm going to be trying some stuff, but I'm nervous about it, so I'm pushing it to the end of my set. I have 3 songs for you guys. They're all relatively new. They're all very different from each other. This one is called Slow Jam, and I wrote this one in Nashville last year. Do you guys like Nashville? Yeah! Okay, like that hot chicken. So I wrote this one because I usually go to Nashville and I like to party. And last year was the first time I went, and I immediately wanted to go back home because I missed my dog and I missed my husband, and it was weird. So I wrote a song about it. I know they say that absence makes you fall in love, but I'm as fun as I could be. So now I'm looking around this picture perfect town, wondering what I'm doing here. Should I hit the city? Should I paint it red? Honestly, I'd rather call you back instead. Ain't no use pretending. Half of my heart stays with you. When I'm gone, you and me sway in my head, playing my song like a slow jam, baby. Make me wanna dance. I can't wait to see you. I just wanna see you and get my heart back again. Back in the day I would be up for whatever, live in the moment, cause you know it's not forever. I'm different now, everything is different with you. Oh, I don't mind the silence, I'm not chasing thrills. I get more excited having time to kill with you, with you. Half of my heart stays with you. When I'm gone, you and me sway in my head, playing my song like a slow jam, baby. Make me wanna dance. I can't wait to see you. I just wanna see you and get my heart back. Nothing
think of a good metaphor for you, and I feel like you're a good swaddling cloth. Do you guys agree? Yes! You make me feel so swaddled. And I really like that. I went to college in New York way back in the day. I won't say when, but it was a long time ago. And there was an open mic in Chinatown in New York called Teabag. I don't know. You know it? What? I know the name is like a little bit, you know, Teabag, but whatever. It was awesome, and I was 17, and if it was not for that community, I don't know that I would be doing music right now. So the fact that you guys exist, there's probably a 17-year-old in here right now that will be doing this so many years later. I won't say how many. So thank you, TNC, for existing. I'm going to sing you guys this song called Box of Letters, and this one's about my dad. I grew up without my dad. I came from the Philippines when I was 6, and for whatever reason, he just never came. But he would write me these letters, and he would put a $1 bill in an envelope. I guess that made up for it, I don't know. And so over time, you can see I'm still kind of bitter, but over time I just collected this box of letters, and I wrote the song about it. Box of letters in the drawer can't contain itself no more. With every cycle around the sun, happy birthday to his little one. He left $1 in a Hallmark to wish her all the best of luck. Half a world away was too far to be the one to raise her up. She grew up breaking every heart, start. 'Cause who on earth would ever stay? She's so weary from the wait. She sent him back his lucky $, and no one ever saw her cry. Strong girls do not need a father. She wanted to believe his lie. Of letters in the drawer, she doesn't need you anymore. Cardboard sides are worn and peeling, and promises have lost their meaning. She's gonna go off and get married. No one will walk her down the aisle, but she'll build herself a happy ending. She'll find a way to say goodbye. She'll build herself a happy ending. She'll find a way to she's finally gonna say goodbye. Okay, so here's the thing. So I was telling Sean about how I was born in the Philippines and came here when I was 6. And, you know, my family spoke our language at home, which was Bisaya. It's one of the... Oh, hey, Bisaya! What's the Bisaya? Anyway, so there's like hundreds of languages spoken in the Philippines, and most people only know about Tagalog, but there's like so many more. And so this is the language my family speaks. But when we moved to the States, you know, the message I always got was like, okay, speak this at home, but when you go into the world, don't. Because you have to assimilate and you have to do better than us. And so that was always the message I got. So when I started writing songs, it just never occurred to me to write in Bisaya. Until this year. So actually, where's Jackie? Jackie kind of helped me like get into this, so thanks, Jackie. So I decided to write, I have like 2 Bisaya songs so far, but I'm only going to do one, the other one's not ready yet. But this one is called Alindahaw, which is a dragonfly. And it was inspired by my grandparents' house in Mindanao, which is like, if things really got bad in my life and I needed to be somewhere that was out of context, I would go there. So I kind of wrote this song about that. And I need your help, so there's a little sing-along part, okay? So I'm going to sing it for you, and then I'll do it twice around, so the second time you can sing along. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. You ready? Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Nice. Kanindot nga adlaw dinhi sa bukid, mga panganod nga daw kaputi like cotton candy. Langit nga bughaw, hapit na ako. Mokalimot, huna-huna di mo kahilom kaayo. Lupa-lupa na gamay nga alindahaw. Sayaw-sayaw na diri sa sabat. Lupa-lupa na gamay nga alindahaw. Nakapangita ba ikaw o bag-umingaw? Ready? Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh. Quiet little breeze singing over me carries my mind up to the sky or into the trees. Something about this day I could stare into, and in no time I discover a way to forget about you. Fly high, fly away, little dragonfly. Dance the night away by the riverbed. Fly high, fly away, little dragonfly. Or do you want to fall in love again? I got a ways to go. Lupad-lupad na gamay nga lindahaw. Sayang-sayang na diri sa sabat.
Can we please give her Alpha? Please give for yourself. All right, we are at the end of our show. Thank you for staying for the whole evening. A few tech problems that pushed us a little bit later, but thank you so much for being here tonight. We are, again, at our third to last show, so we have 2 more shows for the season. So we'll be back in April, but if you want to catch us this year, this is your last chance. So with that, we are clearing up, but please check out information on the census. Please check out what CCD's got going on with their, if you have not signed the petition, please sign the petition. Please buy tickets to their fundraiser. Please buy coffee. Please, DJ Juan over there. He's usually our DJ, but tonight he's our barista. Multi-talented. We got to get him booked. Like we got EGOT him. And then also buy tickets to the concert at the JCCC from Joy, who is in a baseball cap with the baseball cap on it. She's over there. If not, just give Joy money and it'll get to where it needs to be. But with that, we are at the end of our show. Please give it one more time for DJ Wax Styles. Please give it for all the performers this evening, all of the volunteers, all of the staff. Please stick around. Please say hello to the artists. Please say hello to me. Please help us pack up these benches if you can. And with that, the last show of the next show. The next show is 10/1, October 1st. The next show is October 1st. When is the next show? When is the next show? All right, we'll see you then. Get home safely. Oh, wait, one more thing. So if you're like, man, that was a lot of fun, I'm still jazzed and I want to go do something. If you want to go down Temple Street, there is a new bar open from our friends over at the Park's Finest called Thunderbolt. And I went there this weekend, it was incredible. Please check out Thunderbolt, it is an amazing new spot. Our family's opening, I'll be there, I think after this, we'll see you there. Peace out.
Friendly head shake.